Okay, so we're going to hook up the pucker or AchooDeformer, whatever you want to call it. And what we're actually going to use is called a WireDeformer. And it's really pretty easy. I'll try to explain how it works as we go. So you can gain a better understanding rather than just how to make one. So first thing we need to do to create a WireDeformer is a wire, and in this case I want to use a NURB circle, and then we need to shrink it down and put it where we want it to be. And really, with this, we don't need to be all that precise at this moment. Okay, in fact, I'm going to leave it back at the origin. Just want to scale it for now. And I'm going to go ahead and delete its history. Rename it to Achoo OJack. I'm having trouble typing. Achoo wire underscore curve. Okay. Now, with that done, all we need to do is select. Well, actually, we don't even have to make a selection first. We need to go to our animation menu set, create deformers, wire tool. And if you look down here at the bottom, it's going to give you a tip on how to use it. Actually, a lot of my tools work this way. They have a little tip down there. So it says select the shapes to deform and then press enter. So we need to select both of our inside and outside of the pumpkin, press enter. And now the tooltip change down here says select the wire curves and press enter to finalize the operation. Okay, so I can't select it very easy from here, so I'm just going to do it from my hypergraph. Select that. Middle mouse click out here in the user interface just to make sure it works, and then press enter. Okay, done. So what that did is it created a second wire called the base wire. And the difference between these two wires is how Maya chooses to deform the objects, the meshes that are going to deform. Okay, in this case, our pumpkin. So, if I were to, actually I have the soft mod tool in here. We go ahead and delete this for now. Don't need that. So if I were to grab this non-base one and move it up, you see my pumpkin is moving around, but it's way too much. I'm going to go ahead and show this one for now, and by pressing Shift H. So now there's my base one and my other one. Okay, so let me select the pumpkin, and we have this wire deformer here, wire 1. Let's go ahead and rename this. OJack body. No, it's just the whole thing actually. Wire. Okay. Now, one of the important attributes on this deformer is this drop-off distance attribute. Right now it's set to 1. If I edit this, we'll see it starts to affect a smaller and smaller area until it doesn't affect anything at all. Maybe that'll be easier to tell if it's not transparent. So there's the inside of my pumpkin being affected only, then the outside. Okay. So let me turn this back to transparent or X-ray. Now, if I grab this base wire and move it up, you're going to see that it's affecting less and less of the pumpkin. So I'm going to move both of these to the place where I think the mouth is going to be. And if I were to move this precisely on top of that other circle, then we would not have any deformation. This is it, basically undeformed. Okay, so it's taking the difference between these two shapes to push around the mesh. Okay, so now we need to use that to our advantage, and whenever we can, as riggers, we should make animating as simple as possible, so we're going to do that. And we're going to do that by combining both of these into a single control. So I'm going to select them both, press Ctrl G to group them. Just going to put them back at the origin. I'm going to go ahead and move these back to the origin for now. Now I'm going to create an actual control that I can use. NURBS. I'm going to use a circle as the control. Move it off out here in the middle of nowhere. Actually, just move back. And I'll isolate it. And I'm just going to reshape this a little bit, just for fun. Okay. Okay. Now, let me call this my Achoo control. OJack. Control. I'm going to delete its history. Okay. Now I'm going to create an empty group by deselecting everything. Press Ctrl G. And that goes to the same location as this control. I'm going to go ahead and parent it to the control. And then call this the OJack control offset, let's call it. Okay. Now, I'm going to parent both of these to this group 1. And I'm going to drive one of these curves, which you can't see right now. Let me hide. Let's do this. Hide polygons. Okay, so I'm going to drive the base curve with this, with a parent constraint. So I go to Constrain, Parent, and I want to make sure Maintain Offset is turned off. And I'll click Apply. So now, wherever this control goes, here, that circle is going to follow. Okay. Then I'm going to grab this one. Actually, before I do this, we grab both of these, and I'm going to rotate them in component mode 90 degrees. Actually, never mind. Yeah, that's right. Sorry, I'm thinking about my pumpkin, its face being on the top. But yeah, I do need to do this. And this, it doesn't matter if this is extremely precise or not. Okay, so that's done. Now I need to drive this control with the Achoo offset. So it's always driver driven. When you're having two objects affect one another in Maya, you always select the driver or drivers, and then the last thing you